Yesterday, people who watch the show, you can't see it if you're listening, obviously, on iTunes, but people who watch the show notice that there's a banjo. I think you can see it there's a banjo right there behind me. And people noticed it, and there are some people who were asking me if I could even play it and maybe sing a song or something. Well, as for singing, I would never do that to you because my singing voice sounds like the noises a warthog makes when you boil it alive in acid. And yes, I do know what that sounds like. But as for playing the banjo, I cannot do that either. I don't know how to play the banjo, even though I have that banjo right there. And I tell you this as a cautionary tale, okay? Let me just take a quick story here. You see, about 8 years ago, before we were married, my then fiance, now wife, asked me what I want for my birthday. And I said, half jokingly, but I said that I'd really gotten into bluegrass music recently, which I had, and I'd like to learn the banjo. Well, my wife very thoughtfully went out and she bought a banjo for my birthday. She even, she researched, tried to find the best banjo she could find, and she found a great banjo and she bought it, she gave it to me. So I got it on my birthday. So I'm so excited to play the banjo. So that same week, I went and I got some banjo books and I downloaded some banjo tutorials to learn how to play. And I'm telling you that I spent minute after minute after minute trying to learn the banjo. But after many minutes, I mean, many, many minutes, I'm talking 45, even 50 of them, I realized that learning the banjo was really hard. And so I gave up. And now that was 8 years ago, that banjo now just sits there staring at me in judgment every single day of my life. And my wife, because she is a woman, never forgets anything ever. And so she has not forgotten about the banjo. And the banjo that I asked for and never played and gave up on the very same day that it was given to me. So on occasion, she'll pull out that trump card and she'll say, "Oh yeah? Well, you never learned the banjo." Or every time she gives me a gift now, for 8 years, every time she'll always say like the same thing. "Well, hopefully you use this one, unlike the banjo." Or anytime someone comes over and they see the banjo, and then there's always that awkward conversation. "Oh, you know the banjo? You know how to play the banjo?" And then my wife, "Well, let me tell you a story about the time I bought him a banjo and he never learned it." And she's right. I have no response. I didn't learn the banjo. I've been tempted over the years to learn it just so that my wife couldn't use it against me anymore. But then I realized that it's kind of weird to learn the banjo out of spite. The banjo is not a very spiteful instrument, unlike, say, the tuba or something. So the lesson here, my only point is the lesson here for men is never ask your wife or the woman in your life to get you an instrument as a gift that you don't know how to play, because she will expect you to learn it. And if you don't, you will suffer the curse of the banjo, which has been my life now. And the only way to put an end to the curse is to learn it. But as I said, it is way too hard.